Hi everyone! Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Today I'm going to read Genesis chapter 50. At ito po ay patungkol kay Joseph at sa kanyang mga kapatid. In this chapter, Joseph buried their father. And Joseph also reassures or comfort his brothers. It's the last chapters of Genesis. So let me read it and I hope we can pick up, we learn something from this chapter. Genesis chapter 50, it says here, Joseph threw himself upon his father and went over him and kissed him. Dito namatay na po yung father niya. His father died, Jacob. Then Joseph directed the physician in his service to embalm his father Israel. So the physician embalmed him, taking a full 40 days, for that was the time required for embalming, and the Egyptian mourned for him 70 days. Wow. They embalm Jacob, and then they mourn for 70 days. When the days of mourning had passed, Joseph said to Pharaoh's court, If I have found favor in your eyes, speak to Pharaoh for me. Tell him, my father made me swear an oath and said, I am about to die. Bury me in the tomb I dug for myself in the land of Canaan. Now let me go up and bury my father, then I will return. Pharaoh said, Go up and bury your father, as he made you swear to do. In verse 7, it says here, So Joseph went up to bury his father. All Pharaoh's officials accompanied him, the dignitaries of his court, and all the dignitaries of Egypt, beside all the members of Joseph's household, and his brothers, and those belonging to his father's household. Only their children and their flocks and herds were left in Goshen. In Goshen, it is there where the Israelites stayed. They live in Goshen. That's what Pharaoh, the place where Pharaoh gave to them. Chariots and horsemen also went up with him. It was a very large company. When they reached the threshing floor of Atad, near the Jordan, they lamented loudly and bitterly. And there Joseph observed a 7-day period of mourning for his father. When the Canaanites who lived there saw the mourning at the threshing floor of Atad, they said, the Egyptians are holding a solemn ceremony of mourning. That is why that place near the Jordan is called Abel Mizraim. So Jacob did as he had commanded them. So Jacob's sons did as he had commanded them. They carried him to the land of Canaan and buried him in the cave in the field of Machpelah near Mamre, which Abraham had bought as a burial place from Ephron the Hittite along with the field. So Jacob was buried in Canaan. He did not. It was not in Egypt. After burying his father, Joseph returned to Egypt, and all the others who had gone with him to bury his father. So here in verse 15, it says here, Joseph reassures his brother. When Joseph's brothers saw that their father was dead, they said, What if Joseph hold? What if Joseph hold a grudge against us and pay us back for all the wrong we did to him? So his brothers began to be afraid after their father died. So they sent word to Joseph saying, Your father left this instruction before he died. This is what you are to say to Joseph. I ask you to forgive your brothers. The sin and the wrong they committed, the sin and the wrong they committed in treating you so badly. Now please forgive the sin of the servants of the God of your father. When their message came to him, Joseph wept. Joseph received the message. They make up a message now. His brothers, they're afraid. They were afraid, and they made this. They made a story or message that is not true. No, his father did not write this message or tell them to make this message. And this is what when people are afraid and they just invent a story. So when this message, Joseph received this message, he wept. It says here Joseph wept. His brothers then came and threw themselves down before him. We are your slaves, they said. But Joseph said to them, Don't be afraid. Am I in the place of God? You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. So then, don't be afraid. I will provide for you and your children. And he reassured them and he spoke kindly to them. So Joseph reassured his brother. He comforted his brothers. They began to be afraid and thinking that Joseph might harm them or take revenge because of the wrong they have done. We know the background of this, what they did to Joseph. They sold him to the Ishmaelite. They hated him because of his dreams. Yeah. And then we know what happened to Joseph. He was there in Egypt, away from his brothers. He was in prison because of false accusation, but God raised him up until he bring him into the throne as the second rank, highest position. He has the governor of Egypt at that time, second in rank to Pharaoh. And so Joseph says, Don't be afraid. I'm going to provide for you. No, they might. This is the word of Joseph that I put in this background. Joseph said here, Joseph understood that it was God who, all his sufferings, all the things, the bad things that happened to him, he understood everything. He understood that it was God who did it, who allowed it. He said to him, I in the place of God? You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. So this is what uh, what I've been hearing that says that God in our lives, if we are, the bad things, the negative things, the bad things the, that is happening in our lives, if God is able to turn the negative into positive. It is like Joseph. God turned it's the negative things all that happened to his life into a positive. And it's because Joseph did not lose faith. Even when he was there in prison, he always he always find favor in the eyes of God because he believed in God. He he trusts in God. He is a man who fears God. So Joseph was considered actually as one of the heroes of faith. So this is what happened in the where it's if I am thinking the scenario when the brother is there and there what it says here they throw themselves before him, maybe they are bowing down. Oh, we are your slave, they say. But here is Joseph who understand the plan of God for in his life and everything that happened in his life, for all those problems, suffering, the negative that happened to him. He did not have these grudges in his heart, but he has. This is the good example of forgiveness because Joseph forgave his brothers. He did not take revenge. No, it is not like Esau that he said, "When my father will die, he want to kill his brother." Just uh, Jacob. Yeah? But here Joseph forgave his brothers. So he said, "Don't be afraid. I'm going to provide for you." In verse 22, it says here the death of Joseph. Joseph stayed in Egypt along with all his father's family. He lived 110. He lived 110 years and saw the third generation of Ephraim's children. Ephraim and Manasseh is his sons, and he saw the third generation. Also the children of Machir, son of Manasseh, were placed at birth on Joseph's knees. Then Joseph said to his brother, "I am about to die, but God will surely come to your aid and take you up out of this land to the land he brought to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob." And Joseph made the son of Israel swear an oath and said, "God will surely come to your aid, and then you must carry my bones up from this place." So Joseph died at the age of 110, and after they embalmed him, he was placed in a coffin in Egypt. So when the when the time of his death, when he knows that he's going to die, it's near for him to die, he made his faith, he said that he is expressing his faith as if he prophesied. I believe, no, he says here, but God will surely come to your aid. He's telling that God will come and will bring them out to Egypt. They will bring them out, he says. And when God bring you out in Egypt, get my bones. So he tell them that they will get his bone when they get out from Egypt. This is his faith. And this faith of Joseph, his prophecy, is like he prophesied. I believe that God will he will come. He tell them that when God come, he says, but God will surely come to your aid. He even tell to his brother that God will surely come and will come and will bring you out in Egypt, because that is what God has promised to their forefathers. Like that's what God promised, an oath to their father Abraham. No, Joseph believed it. So he says, so even while he's alive, he said, when I am about to die, but when God will come and bring you out from this land of Egypt and bring you to a land he promised, get my bones. This is what Joseph said. So we can, and this thing that he prophesied or he said to his brothers, it was fulfilled, because when it was fulfilled, as we can read in Exodus, when the Israelites get out from Egypt, when God came and delivered them, they get the bones of Joseph. It says here in Exodus 13, verse 19, when Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, because Joseph had made the son of Israel swear an oath. He had said, God will surely come to your aid, and then you must carry my bones up with you from this place. So Joseph buried in Egypt. So it took how many years? See, it is Moses who get his bones. Moses was born. We know how Moses. It took Moses. So all this generation is this new generation. New Moses. Moses is the one who get his bones. And then so Joseph, the bones of Joseph, he crossed the Red Sea. They bring out Joseph and the Israelite, even the Israelite crossed the Red Sea, even Joseph's bone, they get Joseph's bone. And even in Joshua 24, in 30, what's this? 24 and 30, in 30, in 32, and Joseph's bone, which the Israelite had brought up from Egypt, were buried at Shechem in the tract of the land that Jacob bought for 100 pieces of silver from the son of Hamor, the father of Shechem. This became the inheritance of Jacob's descendant. So, Joshua. So after Moses kept the bones, and here comes Joshua. When they go, he buried Joseph in Canaan. It is where the burial site where Jacob bought from Hamor. So he was buried in the promised land. So Joseph was buried there. It says that he was buried there after 100. See, how old is Moses at the time? It takes more than 100. 100. They say that it's 144 years that Joseph stayed in Egypt. His body was stayed in Egypt before they bring him to the promised land, and they buried him there. So it is Joshua who buried him. So it took uh, after Moses bring the bone, and then Joshua. So in Hebrews it says here, in Hebrews 11 verse 22, it says here, by faith. So it is by faith. It's Joseph believed that God will deliver the Israelites, and he just uttered it. He's still alive, but he just prophesied. He said the word. He prophesied. He expressed his faith by saying that God will surely come to your aid. God will surely come to deliver you from this land in Egypt, and you will get out from this land. And when the time comes, get my bones. So he just, by faith, that he really told this to the Israelite. Oh, faith. It's by faith, Joseph, when his end was near, he spoke about the exodus of the Israelite from Egypt and gave instruction about his bones. Hallelujah. So this is Joseph, the story of Joseph in this chapter 50. Hallelujah. So you intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. So God turns the negative things that happen into the negative things that happen into the lives of Joseph into positive, because uh, Joseph remained faithful to the Lord even after all the suffering that God allowed to him. If if Joseph lost his faith and blamed God for the things that happened to him, or if he lost faith or discouraged, maybe he missed the good plan of God for him. But no, Joseph um, remained to be faithful to God in spite of all the things that had happened. And because of that, God fulfilled his plan and purpose in his life by using him as a governor of Egypt to save many lives. But before he was put into the throne, he overcomes everything. Hallelujah. So, and God never leave him nor forsake him because he trusts in God. He is a faithful man. So, this is what I can share, and thank you for watching. God bless you all.